Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday to you. We've got an incredible show on tap today with our brand new guest co host. It's so exciting. So, join us now for an all new episode of Project Joy Live. Let's do it. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and you're watching Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know what time that is for you, timeanddate.com is your friend. That's the only thing I can do to tell people to keep up with it because I barely know what time it is where I am, let alone around the world. So timeanddate.com. That's my referring people out link for the time. I'm super excited because we have a guest co-host on the show today that I'm going to introduce to you in just a second as we talk about what's happening on the show today in the Morning Brew. Are you awake yet? Are you listen, I don't know what is going on, but I'm still a morning person. I'm still here with you, but my body disagrees right now. It's like, go back to bed, Jessica. No, but I am here. I'm super excited about the show today. I'm drinking my tea chino this morning. That's what's in my mug today. Let me know what you are drinking this morning. Miss Brittany's out there in that front row seat, followed shortly by probably Miss Rhonda. I'm guessing that's Miss Rhonda of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. Make sure you guys check out their show every Sunday on the Break These Show Network at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Brittany said, I don't know if I'm awake or sleepwalking and texting at this point. We don't know what's happening over here. So while we're still trying to wake up today, across the pond, it's already afternoon or maybe even evening, depending on how far across the pond you go. But where our guest co-host is joining us from today is afternoon. So I'm super excited to welcome Olivia Ambani back to the show today. She is going to be a regular co-host every, I think we decided second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. And for the Sounds of Joy segment, we're going to talk all about music and the sounds that bring us joy. And we've got a great topic in store for you today. After the break, we've got birthdays as well as what's coming up in the network today. We have some exciting events happening, so be sure to tune in for that. She said, "Yes, it is Rhonda. It is Rhonda." And hello, Olivia. We love Olivia. It's happening. So let's just get to it. She's a singer, a songwriter, joining us all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, and her songs, as we saw on a recent episode of Project Joy Live, have become the soundtrack of our lives. So joining us as guest co-host today, please welcome back Olivia Ambani to the show.
It's gonna be all right. Better than just fine.
Good morning, good afternoon, Olivia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited you're going to be joining us often. I was like, we tossed this idea around last year in the series or the season finale of Project Joy Live last year, and then we both kind of, the holidays happened and all of that. And then I was like, let's just do it.
Right? Let's just jump. I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And I loved, It's so funny to look back and see how things line up for us in our lives. And you were telling a story on Instagram when you announced that you would be coming on Project Joy Live regularly
Yeah.
about something when you were younger, you wanted to do something. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to be asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, media. And then it was really rare for, like, at home, it was always going to be a doctor, a lawyer, accountant. But I was like, I want to do media. And they were like, are you sure you don't want to be a lawyer? Or something else. And I was like, I know what I want to be. So then I auditioned for, there's a big radio station here called Capital FM. I've actually gone there to promote my music before. I didn't get the radio host show, but it was fine. And then I also interned at Nation. But I kept saying, you know what, one day that will happen. And so creating content for me is kind of my outlet. So when this offer happened, I was like, oh my days, this is so cool. Like when I was in high school, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be on a show. So it's like perfect alignment.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's funny because I never really said the words like I want to be in media. Like I always listened to radio DJs and thought that would be kind of cool. Or I would, I tell this story all the time. My great grandparents had, in their basement off to the side, they had an extra bed in case they had more guests than they could handle upstairs come and visit. And it's because there was a pool table downstairs and the washer and dryer and all these other things, they put up this curtain to separate, where the bed was for guests. And so this curtain became like my little stage down in the basement. And I used to pretend I was Ricky Lake and Oprah Winfrey and all these other people.
That's amazing.
But I never said like the words of like I want to be a talk show host, but I remember playing that when I was little and thinking I was like the next big thing. So it's funny to look back and see how something we said or did kind of just it may not look exactly how we thought it would look, but here we are.
Yeah, it manifests. There's a power of intention and just saying it, and then you never know what happens and how it will come out.
Yeah, absolutely. So our segment that we're going to be doing is called The Sounds of Joy. And I think that kind of gives us room to play in that with that title. And we know that I am a lover of music. You and I have both been singing a long time. You have an album out as well as several singles. And so it's fitting that we're going to be talking about music, obviously. But one of the things I wanted to ask you really quickly was about sound in general. So we went to on Saturday, we went to go see Strange Love, the Depeche Mode experience. And that's like that was one of the original like super electronic house sort of music bands. And there's not necessarily every song makes you want to get up and dance. However, when there's certain sounds that like when they play a certain sound, it vibrates through your whole body.
Yes.
And you just kind of are taken to this place. It might not be to the dance floor, but it takes you somewhere. Like, how do you feel about like sound in general?
I think sound is so powerful, and there's even like scientific studies about how different sounds affect your body in a certain way. And so I'm actually very aware of that. And also depending on the season I'm in or how I'm feeling, I'm aware of what sounds I have around me. So yeah, I'm very intentional with sound. Sometimes I'm just like whatever. But yeah, sound is really important. And I added because also I'm a singer, so that just adds another layer. But as a person, just a human consuming, I'm always wondering, like, if I'm feeling stressed, I think about what sound do I have around me. I normally like a lot more stillness, calmness. Even the music I'm listening to will reflect that. So yeah, I think sound is really, really important. But especially now, I feel like we underestimate the power of sound because there's so much. And there's a lot of like stuff that our ears pick up, but we're not necessarily registering. So yeah, sound is really important and powerful.
It is. It is. And like we know even that there's some things that we can listen to while we're sleeping or even just having the volume all the way down till we can't really hear it. And it affects us in a very physical way, just having it on. Nancy's joining us this morning. She said, good morning. Before she gets her groceries, she wanted to come say hi. So good morning, Nancy. It's good to see you today. So I love that. And the other thing we were talking about before the show is that yesterday was Teacher Appreciation Day. And so I thought maybe we could both take a minute and talk about those teachers of music who impacted our lives. Do you remember all your music teachers' names from childhood?
I remember, I think, yeah, most of them, apart from when I was like in kindergarten. Like I went to like three different kindergartens. So the one I remember is her name was Miss Mutua. She was such a gentle, calm teacher, so amazing. She unfortunately passed when we were in school, and it was so devastating because like she was the calmest person, like nothing pissed her off. We were always like, how is she this calm? So I remember her, and she was great on the piano. And then there was Miss Tabitha Ogango. She was the next teacher who took after Miss Mutua. And then there was Mr. Moses Watatua. And he, I think for me, made the biggest impact. So first was Miss Mutua, because she's the one who, I think she discovered I could sing harmony when I was like in year 2, or I think I was like 5 or 6 or something. And then she was really nice and nurturing. And then there was Mr. Moses Watatua. So I met him and I was like in year 10, which is like, what is that? Form 2, 3, like high school, basically. And he, it was very simple, but he allowed me to sing a solo. And he was like, yeah, sure, sing a solo in choir. And that changed everything for me. And interestingly enough, I actually work with him now. So he has a company where he supports government schools or underprivileged schools to develop their music departments. Yeah, and it's
That's
called
amazing.
Harmony Kenya Foundation. And so I remember him telling me about it like 10, 12 years ago. And so I've, been encouraging him to make it happen. He has, and he's done amazing work. So now I support with strategy and marketing for that. So yes, I remember my music teacher, and he's amazing. He's made such a big impact. And it was not just the music, it was the kindness and his ability to just listen to people. And so there are tons of people who are not even into music, but they always used to go to the music room. So shout out to Mr. Watatua. Yeah.
I love it. And I love how you're still connected to that today.
Yes.
That was going to be my next question, is if you're still like in touch and all that as well. It's interesting to see too what different music teachers, what the different impact they had on us was, because it might have brought out different things in us depending on the teacher. I think every teacher has that ability to bring something else out of a child.
Yes.
For me, like my so early on, I had my piano teacher. I'm having a moment. I'm having a 43-year-old moment over here. Okay, so I had a piano teacher early on, and then Diane Mosier was my choir teacher at church, my choir director at church in the children's choir, and then going in elementary school at the same time, I had Mr. Parkinson, who was our band teacher, and he arranged for me to get a clarinet when we couldn't afford a musical instrument. So he, provided that to me. And then Mrs. Crandall was our choir teacher and our music teacher in general. And she was the first one that ever gave me a solo. And then middle school was Miss Below for choir and Mr. Bollier, all the B names, just a lot. Mr. Bollier for band and jazz band and all of that. And they both were just, that was middle school was a really tough time in my life because I was dealing with being diagnosed with anxiety and a lot of these different things with my mental health. And I really feel like if it wasn't for music education at that time, like it would have been a lot more tough for me than it actually was. So that was really great. And then going into high school, I had Wayne Spletstozer in freshman year, and he was the one. I didn't even know this. So I saw Wayne fairly recently because he teaches about an hour and a half from where I live now. And when he taught us, that was his first teaching job ever.
Oh.
Like I remember him being like super young and kind of just fitting in with all the kids. And I always wondered kind of why. It's because he was just out of school, literally. And so, but he did something really amazing at the school, which was the high school hadn't had, it was a private school, so they didn't have like outside funds to do a lot of extracurricular things, and they just had to raise the money. So they hadn't had a marching band in years, and he literally went in storage and brought the marching band uniforms out of mothballs and started a marching band again. And he named me drum major of the marching band, and
Wow.
that was a moment for me. And I told him about this recently because I was coming off that middle school experience of dealing with my mental health and everything, and my own level of worthiness and leadership ability and all of those things. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know if I can fill that shoes, but I did it, and it was great. And then when I ended up changing to another high school later on, I had John Frascarelli, who was incredible in choir and chamber choir and all of that. And so I had all of these incredible teachers. I also had a private voice teacher, Carol Chianci, who was incredible. And each of those people, it was like, looking back, perfect timing for when they were in my life for different reasons, and the different things, skills and things like that they brought out in me.
I love that. And just the fact that you can remember each one and what they brought into your life, I think that's really powerful. Like the power of teaching. I think teachers, like, man, they're very important, and they make such a massive impact on our lives, you know? So
Absolutely. What do you think is like something maybe not music related, that like a quality or something that you have that maybe isn't necessarily related to music, like, oh, I can sing in key or I can sing harmony or whatever, but maybe like a some sort of skill or something that music brought into your life?
That's an interesting one. I think for me is learning to understand myself and accept who I am as a person. And it came because of the type of voice I had. And so, you know, I had a deeper voice than most girls. I was alto, more tenor, and I wanted to be like soprano. Like, you know, soprano was the designed. Well, most of the time they're the ones who got the solos. So I remember through music, I learned, the more I accepted it taught me to just accept myself, like accept your voice, Olivia. The more I accepted my voice, the more I accepted myself as a person. And so my confidence grew with the more I accepted my voice. And I know that would have never happened if I hadn't like kind of pursued music. Even now with my life, I feel like one of the biggest gifts I ever gave myself was saying yes to my music career, was saying that I would make that happen. And so I've had like what I feel a lot of people wait to have in retirement or later on in their lives. I'm living that now. Like, so for me, it's given me a lot of time, a lot of joy, and self-acceptance, like radical self-acceptance. So that's what I'd say music has given me.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I really wish that was, I can think back now and think about that for myself as well, but it's not something that I held on to. I think I really kind of lost my way for a little while and forgot that. And now I'm sort of coming back around to that with the work that I'm doing now. And I'm relearning to love my voice, because I was a soprano in school and a high soprano at one point. And so, you know, that was a very different world than now that I've had babies and hormones have changed and I'm clearly an alto. It's different. I don't think I was prepared for the vocal change. I'm sure like if I had continued to train, I hadn't taken time off, it might be a different situation right now. So I'm relearning like how to love my voice for what it is right now. And also like not comparing ourselves to other
Oof.
singers.
Yes, that's a big one.
I don't know that I'm 100% there yet, Olivia.
I think that's a journey, you know. I think that's a journey, and I think also something that I do a lot, which is some people find like, so people love watching like talent shows and X Factor, and
Yeah.
I don't like watching them actually. Like I find they trigger me sometimes because like I actually auditioned for such shows and I didn't get in. Right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's a consistent reminder of, oh, but I didn't get in. But then I'm like, but look at the career you have. But
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like in the beginning, when the show started growing, I used to find like I'm nervous, like I'm the person going on stage. Like I'd get the nerves of watching someone going in front to be judged. Like that would
Mm.
be so nervous. And then sometimes if someone would hit like those notes that I think I can't hit, I'm like, oh, well, now what chance do you
Right.
have?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I often don't watch the shows. Like maybe occasionally I like listen to some and I'm like, oh, that arrangement was awesome. But I will not actively go and watch like a whole season of X Factor and America's Got Talent. No, not me.
Yeah. I stopped watching them. I mean, I'll see little clips and stuff. I always enjoy hearing people saying I see little clips and things online, which I really like. But my experience with that, the biggest thing that comes to mind is the sort of uh it's this idea that one is better than another. It's sort of it's a made up
Yeah.
thing. And we can get these ideas in our head that just shouldn't exist. And I remember when I made Allstate. Now, making Allstate here is a big deal. It means you tried out, you're a really good singer, you move on to sing with a choir of other kids who also made Allstate. And so I made Allstate, and you make Allstate, you try out, you get that letter that you're accepted into Allstate, and you think, I'm hot shit now. Like I am so good, right? I am a great singer. And then you show up there to sing and still don't realize that every single person that's there also got that same letter, that they're also great too. So then they say to this group of kids who all have been told they're great and wonderful and amazing, well, now we are going to have, who wants to try out for the solo? Who wants to try out for the solo? So every child in there, every teenager in there thinks that they're the best singer in their school, in their district, which they are. But now you're in another fishbowl with all fish that are the best singers where they are. So then you get 20 people trying out for the solo, and you hear everybody go, and you're like, oh, I may not be the best singer. And I remember that feeling of going like, I thought I was really good. I'm not really sure now.
Right. And then it just like, and it can really take away from your confidence. And also
Yes.
because of what people, especially now with like different genres of music and like what people prefer. But the beauty I found like when I've pursued my career is there's always someone who's going to like what you've done. There is always someone like, you may not think that, but there is always someone who will like what you've done. So don't believe like what people say that, no, you have to have this type of voice or this type of look. There's someone who's going to like what you do. There's someone.
Yeah.
So that's just a reminder.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, let's talk about really quickly before we go to break. What is a song or songs that are top of mind for you this week?
Oh, you know what's so interesting? So just before I joined the show right now, I was thinking of, I think it's Boys to Men song, and I
Oh.
think I'll just sing a bit of it. Well, the words have just disappeared, but it's basically saying that it's all gonna be fine. Yeah, if you just hold on, I know everything will be okay. I know that you're tired, baby, give it some time, and things will go your way. So that was the like line
I
that
love
was going
it.
on. So Boys to Men. And then I've been listening to Beyonce's new album. I really, really like it, Cowboy Carter. And I was saying I like to listen to albums in their entirety because
Yeah.
as a fellow artist and just I love to hear how people choose to arrange the music and stuff. And so there are a couple of songs I'm like, ooh, this is really nice. And the intention and like the whole message about like, forget genres, just do music. I really, really liked that. So
Yeah.
that's what's been on my, repeats so far. What about you? What are you listening to?
So I was made aware of a song recently by Melissa Etheridge called "Like I Do," and I was not familiar with that song, but I was sharing my friend Kathy Ellis that she fronts 3 different bands here in southeastern Connecticut, and like she has those powerhouse rock can sing like blows your mind, kind of blow your speakers too while you're at it kind of singer. Very different voice than what I have. And she sang this song and I was just like, this is an incredible song. It has this sort of, it's this rock song like Melissa Etheridge does, but it has this build up to the chorus that is like, it gives you chills every time you hear it. So Like I Do, by Like the Way I Do by Melissa Etheridge has been top of mind. But I'm also, oh gosh, this is going to get me in trouble. I listened to the entirety of Taylor Swift's new album. And I really enjoy Taylor as a songwriter. I think the lyrics are fantastic. I'm not a fan of the whole, like I appreciate the album, but I'm not a fan of the whole thing for me because I imagine for myself, if I put out an album, I would do like every song a different genre. Have like a pop hit and like every song would sound different because that's the kind of person I am. So sometimes it's hard when I listen to an album and I'm like, did we go to the next song? Because it sounds so similar to me. And so the words are fantastic. Like the songwriting is unbelievable, but I'm not sure. And it takes you on a journey, like you talk about when you listen to a full album, but I'm not sure that each song is different enough for me to be like, that's another great hit. That's another great hit, like yours, it's like you change tempos, you have different instruments, different types of songs. And so you can tell we've gone to a new song. So I'm going to get myself in trouble saying that the jury is still out for me regarding Taylor Swift's new album, but I did listen to it the full way through.
Yeah, and you're entitled to like or not like and express, So
yeah. I'm gonna get myself in trouble in this segment, Olivia. I know that there's a lot of real hardcore Swifties out there. I have not listened to the entirety of Beyonce's album though, so I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah,
I'll listen.
Just when you have time, just listen to it through. I think there's a very interesting story and she's very deliberate. So just, I'd say if you have time, listen to the album in its entirety in one go.
I will do that. I'm going to put that on my list for this Mother's Day weekend to give some time to myself. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with birthdays and what's coming up on the network this afternoon. And we'll see you guys in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and we're joined by my very special co-host today, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. It's Olivia Ambani, everybody.
Yes. Yay!
Love it. We are going to have problems keeping our segment short.
We'll try. Maybe after this we'll have to have like a special edition that's 1 hour.
We'll have a once a month we ran out of time episode.
Yeah, extra hour, the encore.
Yes. Okay, noted. Okay. It's so funny. Yesterday, really quickly, my neighbor that lives upstairs, she we've never talked about like what I do or who I am or anything like that. We just sort of like, hey, nice day, super sunny, enjoy your day, kind of, moving on thing. And yesterday, I said, how's your day? She's like, great. How was yours? I'm like, I'm tired of playing mom's taxi, because Tuesday's my day where I'm like taking the girls to dance and taking Sky to work. And, I'm like running all over creation. And so I was like, I'm tired of playing mom's taxi is what I'm doing. And she goes, that would make a great show. And I kind of just look at her and I said, it actually would. And she kind of laughed. She's like, yeah, only if. And I'm like, no, like, that's what
that's what you do.
And she goes, what? She just kind of had this one. It was so funny. Anyway, I'm getting to know the neighbors around here. We have to talk about birthdays today. Let's see who has a birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. So in the world of celebrity today, David Attenborough, who is the brother of Richard Attenborough, the actor from, you guys might know him from Jurassic Park and Miracle on 34th Street. I didn't realize that he had made a whole bunch of like nature documentaries, which is really cool, but he turns 98 years old today. So that's Yeah, 2 away from the big 100. So very exciting. Happy birthday. All in the world of music, speaking of music, Enrique Iglesias turns 49 years old today. I can be your hero, baby.
Right? Oh, the memory. That was a jam.
Yes, it was. He had a lot of good songs, Enrique Iglesias, and he's not bad to look at. Okay, moving on.
He's not at all.
In the world of acting, Matthew Davis, actor, you may remember him from Legally Blonde or Vampire Diaries. He turns 46 years old today. President Harry Truman here in the United States, who passed away in 1972, he had a birthday today. And also Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls in the Little House on the Prairie series. That's going back a minute. She turns the big 60 today, turned 60 years old, Melissa Gilbert. Wow. So happy birthday. The celebrities in my life, we had a couple yesterday and then today. Adam Chame, who was a guest on the Breakthrough Show, husband to Shoshana Chame, who used to be a panelist on the Breakthrough Show, had a birthday. Carson Nugent, Yanni Ransom, Lisa Halpin, and one of my very dear friends, Teresa Ng, has a birthday today. So happy birthday, Teresa. Yes. So Olivia is going to sing our birthday song today.
Yes,
Here we go.
Yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. And thank you, Olivia, for giving me a break from the birthday song today. We're going to be, it's hard. I thought, well, we should sing it together, but then there's like the delay and it makes it hard. So we'll have to, maybe we'll work on like recording something and for when Olivia's on.
Good idea.
That would be great. That would be great. Let's talk about what's coming up with Olivia this week, as well as on the Breakthrough Show Network. All right. So we have coming up this afternoon on the Breakthrough Show Network, we have our virtual co-working that is happening at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. You check in 1:55 and we have 4 segments of co-working together until 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And so encourage you to join us for that. You can go to the breakthroughshownetwork.club to check out our community and join us for co-working. And then this evening, I'm very excited. I'm going to put the link down in the comments for you guys. And you can register for our poetry workshop tonight. It's going to be led by poets Katarina Stomska and Tyler Tittle. And they will be hosting this workshop at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going to be taking us through different types of poetry. So whether you have written poems before or this is your first time, I invite you to join us. The registration link is down in the comments. Olivia, what do you have coming up until we see you in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, so I just released literally like a few minutes before I came to the show, the making of one of my songs, Remember. So you can check that out on Instagram. I'm still debating whether I'll put it on YouTube, but check it out on Instagram. And then I have a couple of lives lined up because I have 2 series, Money Conversation and Marketing Mondays. So I'm having about 3 guests, 2 for the Money Conversations and 1 for Marketing Mondays that's coming up. And the one for Marketing Mondays, I love all of them, but Marketing Mondays is quite special because I'm going to be talking to one of the founders of an organization called She Voice and supports women in music. So it's pretty cool.
Yes, very exciting. I put all of Olivia's links down in the show notes as well in the comments too. So you can just click and go, her Facebook, her YouTube, her Instagram. So definitely check that out. And Olivia has her own things that she hosts on Instagram that are so good. And you may think she's not just a singer, you guys. She does all kinds of things. She's very multi-passionate because that's who we attract here on the Breakthrough Show.
Yes. Definitely.
I love it. I love it. So excited for your stuff you have coming up. And we will see you again on Wednesday, May 22nd for another segment of the Sounds of Joy. And I'm super excited that you'll be joining us.
Yes, me too. Me too. Can't wait. Cannot wait for that.
Love it. Love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us wherever you are around the world. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. This is my special co-host, Olivia Ambani. And we want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.